going to go on and get started since we've got the majority of the folks here today. My name is Vanessa Oliver, and I'm a dietitian with UK Health and Wellness. My colleague Karen Briley-McNeese is also a dietitian with UK Health and Wellness, and she'll be filming this class today. So if you just feel like you need to watch it again, it will be up on our website probably within the next few weeks. Okay. What we're going to talk about today, this is sort of a continuation of our kitchen skills workshop series, where we take half an hour in the middle of the day and just talk about different skills that you can build in order to help you eat more healthfully. Okay. And today we're talking about salad in a jar. All right. Has anyone seen this online, or maybe had friends talk about it, or does anyone do it? One person? Okay. It's a couple of people. If you're on Pinterest at all, this is like salad in a jar central, right? You see lots of pretty pictures, and it's just sort of one of the reasons why I wanted to do that is because sometimes people will actually come up to us during consults or during classes and ask, what is this? Is this worth it? Is this something that I should do? So we're going to learn how to do it today. So why salad in a jar, right? It's easy, okay? It's very portable. It increases your vegetable intake, maybe your fruit intake, if you put fruit in there as well. And a lot of times when we're talking to our clients, they are struggling with finding healthy lunches on campus, okay? And so this is a way where you can just kind of take control of that, bring your own lunch to campus, completely control what's in it, and not only that, it looks pretty to boot, okay? The great thing about this concept is that you can make salads for the whole week on a Saturday or Sunday, keep them in your refrigerator, and because of the mason jar and the airtightness of that mason jar, they will stay fresh for the whole week, okay? I promise you this is what I do. I make 10 salads every Sunday, one for me, one for my husband. We eat salads every lunch during the week, and the lettuce is just as crisp on Friday as it is on Monday, okay? So a lot of that has to do with the airtightness of the jar, but also in the layering process of making the salad. So there is a little bit of an art to it, okay? It's definitely not complicated, but it's one of those things where sometimes it helps just to do it in a group setting first, and then you can customize it as you wish, okay? Any questions so far? No? Okay. Let's see, I've got notes because I just want to make sure that I have everything. What we're going to do today, of course we're going to make different salads. I've got on each side of the room fixings for two different salads, okay? One is a burrito bowl salad, and one is a Greek salad. And you'll find these recipes as well as a lot of other ideas for types of salads in the little salad in a jar recipe pack that you all have, okay? These are printed on both sides, the cards. So what you'll see in the front are ideas for salad dressings, all right? Because it's pretty easy to make your own salad dressing. Does anyone do this at home already? A little bit, right? Sometimes it's easier just to grab like the bottle or whatever. Okay, which is fine, all right? But if you ever want to explore, it's pretty easy to do that at home. I've got a few basic recipes in here as well as some more specific recipes that you might like to try, okay? And then after the dressing sort of section in here, we also have some specific salads. And I'll let you look through those at your own pace, of course, but we're going to make a couple of those today. At the end of the packet, there's something called salad building blocks. And this is something to encourage you to sort of think outside the box, right? Gives you ideas for different proteins, greens, dairy, fruits, nuts, seeds, that sort of thing, that you can include in your salad and really just mix and match. There's no wrong way to make a salad, okay? So this is just to get you thinking. Some of the other supplemental information that you may have seen as you walked in give you some more sort of recipe ideas, so you can pick that up on the way out if you like. These are simple salads organized by season. And then I also have an article I thought was really neat. If you don't want to make your own salad dressing, and you know, I mean, I'm not naive, I know like not everyone's going to run home and make their own vinaigrette or whatever. It's sort of just unbelievable how many different kinds of dressings are available in the grocery store. It's unbelievable, the display that they have. So this is meant to give you just a little bit sort of knowledge on what might be more healthful choices for you, okay? This is from the Nutrition Action Health Letter, which is put out by the CSPI, the Center for Science and Public Interest. It's just sort of a good health-based organization, doesn't have a lot of bias, okay? So that's why I chose this. So hopefully this will be helpful for you guys as well. Okay. So, it looks like everyone's here. I'm going to go on and do a prize drawing before you all get food all over you, okay? And Karen's going to get the names for me. I just want to show you what I've got here. One is sort of in the theme, and it is a mason jar measuring cup set. So they stack up to look like a little mason jar. They're really cute, right? And you can use that to measure the ingredients that go in your salad, all right, if you want, okay? I do really love when people kind of get away from measuring for recipes, but I understand that if you're doing something the first time, it's a good idea to measure it, right? And then the other prize, we're going to have 2 drawings today. This is a salad dressing mixer. So you pour your ingredients in here. It's got a handle. I don't know if you can see it, right? And there's also little recipes on the side of the bottle. Okay, so I'm going to draw 2 names. All right, I think I've got 2. Tony and Ling. Tony, I think I know which one Tony is. All right, does anyone have a preference? No? Okay. I'm going to give you the measuring cups. I'm going to give Tony. Congratulations, you guys. All right, so even though I just gave away a salad dressing maker, okay, I just want to demonstrate, in case you didn't win the salad dressing maker, an easy way to make a vinaigrette using, again, a mason jar. All right. Now, I've just eyeballed this, which means I just poured ingredients in here because this is something I do, like I said, every week, all right? But this is going to be the Greek vinaigrette for those of you who are going to choose to make a Greek salad. And there is a recipe in your box, or in your packet, as well as on this sheet. This is just something to use as a reference sheet today in case you don't want to get your little packet dirty once you open up the food, okay? So what this is just a basic vinaigrette, and the basic vinaigrette for anything is going to be a 3-to-2 ratio of oil to acid plus salt and pepper, okay? That's going to be basic. If you want to add herbs and spices, you can certainly do that. If you want to switch up the oil, you can do that. Use olive oil or peanut oil or coconut oil, for example. Or you can switch up the vinegar, okay? Things like sherry vinegar, balsamic vinegar, or a rice vinegar if you want a neutral. So what I'm doing here is making that Greek vinaigrette by using the basic vinaigrette recipe, adding a little bit of lemon juice and a little bit of oregano, okay? Because that's what you kind of think of when you think of Greek dressing, right? Once you get your ingredients in here, you just shake it. Make sure the lid's on tight. That would be a disaster. All right, and it will stay emulsified for a few minutes, okay? If you want the emulsification to last a little bit longer, do you guys know what to do? You heard about this? Sugar is actually, that's more for flavor, but sometimes you will see vinaigrettes with honey or sugar, and that's certainly, if that's your preference, you can absolutely do that, right? But it's actually a little bit of Dijon mustard. The chemical structure of the Dijon mustard helps bind together the oil and the water that's present in the oil and in the water, in the vinegar. So it will actually stabilize your dressing for an hour or so, all right? And if it starts to separate, you just shake it again, okay? So it's a really easy way to make your own dressing without breaking out the whisk and the bowl and the measuring cups and all this, okay? Because you know, too, the mason jars have little measurements on the side, okay? So just to show you how easy that is, all right? What I'm going to have you do, we'll put this over by the Greek salad on one side anyway. As I mentioned, you have the option to make either a Greek salad or a burrito bowl salad today. And you can take that salad home with you. You can eat it for lunch today. However you wish to do it, it's fine. Okay, so some of you are ready to eat it now. It's totally fine. I didn't bring any forks, sorry. But the ingredients are on the tables. The instructions, like I said, are on those white sheets if you want to use those, again, so you don't get those recipe cards foodie, all right? And each of you should have a pint jar. I chose pint jars today just because that's my preference. If you want to use a bigger jar, like a quart-sized jar, you can absolutely do that as well. Okay, I know I've already talked to some of you about that. Everything is sort of separated. So with the black beans and the sweet potatoes side, that's the burrito bowl salad. And then with the chickpeas and the feta, that's the Greek salad. So I think we've got Greek on this side, it looks like?
Yeah.
Okay, we've got Greek on this side and burrito on this side. You guys can choose what you want to make, whatever sounds good to you.
So these ingredients are in the order we should add.
Yes, thank you for saying that, Kelly. So what I was talking about with the order being important for layering, okay, basically what it boils down to is you put the dressing on the bottom of the jar, all right? That way it's staying the furthest away from the lettuce or other greens that you choose. Once you do the dressing, then you do the heartier types of vegetables, maybe cucumbers, onions, tomatoes, that sort of thing. Then you can add your proteins, and then you can add your greens and the more delicate ingredients such as cheese, nuts, seeds, fruit. Okay? On your cards, it is mentioned the order of the layering, all right? And also in the recipes, it's in the order of the layering as well. Does anyone have any questions? There are suggestions as far as measurements for some, but you can really just use your preference. For the burrito salad, we made a salsa ranch today, so you can use that as well. Does everyone feel comfortable with making their salads? Dressing first. Dressing first, that's right. And if anyone wants a little extra protein in their greens, I've got some kale chopped up here. I've put that right next to you.
How much dressing do we use?
That's up to you. I usually go between 1 and 2 tablespoons, okay? So if you're looking for a lower calorie salad, then you can use less. And if you're not worried about that, then you can use a little bit more. The dressing oil? Yep.
I have my glasses off, I can't see.
The dressing, the creamy dressing, is made with mayonnaise and non-fat Greek yogurt.
Greek salad with kale?
That would be delicious. Yeah.
So we don't have any cooking.
Yeah, and that's something you do need to keep in mind, right? You want to make sure that you're leaving room for the greens. But you can certainly squish the greens down quite a bit, and more will fit in there than you think. I'm going to borrow your kale. Here, kale. The chickpeas do a little bit, don't they? Yeah. If anyone wants measuring cups or spoons, I do have them over here as well. Can you say that to the camera, please? Since it's already way better than the salad images. One thing about the chicken, too. So I bought a seasoned chicken. I just got it at Kroger. It's taco seasoning. And the reason why I chose it is because there's nothing else sort of weird in it. It's the chicken with taco seasoning and a little bit of citric acid for preservation. I found it in the meat section at the Kroger.
We have no meat.
Yeah, it's already question was if I find a difference with prepackaged greens. And I don't like buying the prepackaged greens. No. So the reason why, they're usually a lot more expensive than buying a whole head of lettuce. And if you ever look at them, unless you get them on the first day they were delivered, they really start to look like a little slimy. Okay? So what I actually did, I'll get the kale back to you.
Oh, okay. I didn't see someone.
No, it's all good. What I actually did is just buy heads of romaine lettuce, and I cut them up and washed them, and then just packed them in there. So if you do that, I will say a salad spinner, if you don't have one, is a great investment. It's about 15 bucks. You can get a little one about this big, and then that way you can wash your lettuce ahead of time and dry it, and actually keep it in the spinner in your refrigerator, and that will keep it crisp until you eat it.
So, Missy, you were talking about the chicken. So would you ever like get a roasted chicken at like Fresh Market or something like that and eat it? Is there any issue with that?
An issue with it? No, I mean it
Are they like
depends on
injecting weird stuff into it?
possibly. It depends on what your definition of weird is, right? So if you want to get a whole chicken that's already been roasted for ease, certainly that's very, very easy to do. I'm not sure what you're using as flavoring at Fresh Market, okay? But again, that's very personal.
They probably have it on the label, right?
They should have it on the label. But you can certainly do any protein in whatever process you like. If you want to roast your own protein and have it ready, that's something you can do at home. If you want to buy it pre-cooked, that's your choice as well.
So even the chicken is good, it's fine to like rip up the chicken, put it there, fry it.
Well, how are you
Yes.
supposed to eat it
Yes.
then?
Right, so that's a question, right? Okay, so someone's like, my jar is so full, how am I going to eat it, right?
Yeah.
So the name of the class is Shake It Up, okay? So once you get your lid on, okay, you do shake it, and then you have the choice. You can eat it out of the jar. For some, they find that's a little bit awkward, okay? What I do at work is I have a bowl that I keep at work, and I dump the salad into the bowl every day and wash the bowl out every day. The bonus of doing it that way is that when you dump it out, the dressing is magically on the top.
Yes.
Right? So it's up to you all. I know people that just dig, get a fork and dig in there too, but yeah, it's totally up to you. With the creamier dressing, you'll find that it's a little bit more
I don't know if I
difficult
want
to shake.
kale or if I want. I guess I'll just
Do you need your kale back?
I don't know if I want kale or if I want regular.
I'll try it. So they look really pretty, right? I mean, look at that. Imagine opening up your refrigerator door and seeing a whole week's worth of that in there. You feel all organized and Pinteresty, right? Gwyneth Paltrow is knocking on your door. Any questions or problems that you're seeing?
So when you carry to work, you get already kind of shaken off.
That's a really good point. Yeah, it's as you're walking to work, right? It's kind of shaking up as you go. Yeah. And you can cram a lot of greens in there, and they'll just sort of spring out once you do open it back up for
Where should
pouring.
you buy this?
That's a great question. So my mason jars, I actually bought them at Kroger. Here in this area of the country, you can usually find them at the Kroger, especially this time of the year, okay? Because a lot of people are canning food for the winter, okay? Other places that you can find them would be a hardware store. They have them at
Can I take
Michael's.
the extra jar?
Yeah.
Another one?
If you want, yeah, sure, no, that's fine. But yeah, Kroger is definitely a good spot. Walmart, they have them sometimes at Target, okay? They will be in different sections though, so you might want to ask where they are. Any other questions about the process? I've got some questions that I kind of thought of that people might ask, so I'll just sort of go over those in the time that we have left. You can certainly use a plastic container instead of a mason jar if you like. I just like the mason jar because I know the seal is good, okay? Sometimes people worry it's going to be too heavy. Does anyone feel like the jar is too heavy? No, right? Yeah, so that hopefully I show you that. The lettuce won't get soggy, okay, as I said, as long as you layer it in that way, all right, because the lettuce is very far away from the dressing. If you don't like an ingredient that's suggested in the recipe, don't use it. It's that easy, right? And that's part of why, too, if you look at that recipe building blocks little table, it gives you different sort of options you can exchange for different vegetables, different greens. It's very, very customizable, okay? So if you've got husbands or wives or little ones that are maybe a little bit pickier than you or maybe just like different things than you, it's very easy to sort of make this according to their likes and dislikes, okay? As I said, these mason jar salads will last through the week, so it is something that you can definitely do on a Sunday afternoon. Take an hour or so and put these together. If you decide to do that, I'll tell you it's a lot easier, just like we did today, to have all your ingredients prepped and ready. That's called mise en place, okay? That's a cooking term. Sometimes you'll see that on the Food Network, right? But if you have all your ingredients ready to go, it's very easy to make a lot of salads at a time. So I definitely recommend doing that. If you, let's see. Oh, and the last thing I have are if there are better dressings than others to use. As I mentioned, I don't know if you all heard me though, if you use a creamier dressing, it's a little bit difficult sometimes to get it out of the jar. What my husband does, I don't do this, you can decide. He actually will stick the jar in the microwave for about 10 seconds. The whole thing, without the lid. Without the lid. But he'll put the whole jar in the microwave and that kind of loosens up the dressing just a little bit, especially if it's been in the refrigerator. And it makes it a little bit easier to pour. So that's up to you. Okay. Any other questions or? What's that?
I don't know about a warm salad.
Yeah, see the 10 seconds, it's not really going to, I guess it depends on how powerful your microwave is, but it's not really going to make things warm necessarily, but it might take the chill off a little bit. So it's, yeah, like I said, definitely, I don't do it, but Greg doesn't seem fine. All right, you guys made some beautiful salads. Can we take some pictures? Is that all right?
Yes. Let's see.